Yo, we back with another one and another one, man. This is what we're all thinking podcast, stories behind the graph. I got a special guest for y'all today. This somebody before podcast, before everything, man. I knew this man for like at least 15 years, bruh. You know what I'm saying? He been putting in a lot of work, been moving around. Um, Soon to be NFL prospect. I'm speaking into existence, man. Hard working guy. I seen him been in the kitchen lately, whipping up some nice meals. We finna get into all that today. Um, but man, grind. That's all I can say about this guy right here. So without further ado, man, go introduce yourself.
It's good, man. First of all, bro, appreciate you for having me, bro. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying? You know it's always love anytime we see each other for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Even when it's from long periods of time, like
Yeah.
10 plus years.
For sure.
But yeah, bro, thank you for having me. I'm Lorenzo. I go by Low, and I play defensive back at Minnesota State. So um, just enjoying that process, trying to see how far it can take me for real.
Definitely. So, word of the day.
Word of the day, man. Uh, for this one, I'm gonna go with original.
Why?
I say that because I'm at like a point in my life where like I'm doing a lot of stuff other than the sport that I do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out different things, whether that's golfing, bowling, cooking, whatever the case may be. And like just through the process of creating content, editing, just doing homework on other people's content, on how they do it, and it's not really a lot of originality with it. A lot of it kind of just themes off of another. Um, I'll watch a video, and then I'll like something from that video, and then I'll go back to editing. Then I'll take a break and go scroll back on social media, and I'll see a video that was similar to the one I just watched. So um, I feel like it's not something that people do intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like fashion trends for real.
Mm-hmm.
People see the latest jeans out, you're gonna see everybody with them.
For sure.
And that's kind of like how it is with content. Um, and not even with content, just myself. I just watched a video that you posted recently, and you was just talking about uh, separating yourself and being original to find what you love to do. I think that's the best way to do it for real. It's hard, and it kind of gets foggy when it's a lot of people, in your head or around you that has
Mm-hmm.
have different opinions. Um, so it can kind of get cloudy on like what you actually want to do for yourself, like truly.
Definitely.
A lot of people they'll make a decision based on what their friends are doing, or based on how they seen their friends do, and not based on is this what you want to do. Like is this something you willing to sacrifice the stuff that you actually like to do
Mm-hmm.
this. So it's been a lot of soul searching for real. It's at the point in the career, especially in football, where at this level, it's no telling what's gonna happen next. So, um, soul searching for sure to just figure out who I am now. So when football is all said and done, I'm not trying to figure that out.
I
You know,
feel that.
yeah.
So, I think goes back to your point to piggyback off what you're saying and to clarify. I just feel like I had that coming to Jesus moment early after high school. Is like, okay, I got to figure out what's next
Yeah.
because I'm not going to college to play football.
Yeah.
And that was that moment of like, damn, heartbreaking, because you go from doing it every day from the age of I started at 12.
Hmm.
So the age of 12 to I'm now 18, trying to figure out, okay, what the hell am I going to do? and it took me a while to get to this point. A lot of people don't really know that. They just see what they see now.
Yeah.
So it's like for you in your case, right? How long you say you've been playing sports? Cause you, excuse me, you
Um.
wasn't just playing football. You was basketball. You
Yeah.
was all around.
So I played a season of little league football.
Hmm.
Um. And you know, with little league football, it's really if you got the money to play, you gonna play. If you got the money to play, like pay, you gonna be able to play. And that wasn't really the case for me at all the times. So I probably had like 1 or 2 seasons of little league for real. And after that, like I was just kind of trying to find my way through sports without having to pay. Like you know, it's harder to get registration money for my mom for AAU tournaments when it's four other brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
So it was difficult for me to maneuver throughout those, but I say basketball. I probably been hooping since I was in like 5th grade, 4th grade. I started picking up a basketball, and then I didn't pick up a football again until like my junior year of high school. Same thing with track. I joined the track team actually right after the football season had ended, and then I don't know. It was just kind of like one of those things where I knew I wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't super good, so it was something that I wanted to challenge myself to get better at.
I
And
think you know you had a lot of confidence though.
yeah,
Between the lines, it was like, bro, like even when we was playing pickup in the gym at Memorial, it was
yeah,
like nobody gonna score on me.
yeah,
And when I'm getting the ball down the court, I'm gonna score on you every time.
yeah.
Or like who gonna guard me? Like that's always we always me and you used to battle
Facts.
in middle school. Like Nate, come guard me, or hey
Oh,
Lorenzo, come guard me. Like who gonna guard who gonna score a touchdown on who? So I think that's what kind of separated you as well. The competitive passion you have for the
yeah,
game, and that's what made you who you was. It's
yeah,
like okay, nobody. I'm not gonna let nobody. I'm not gonna let nobody see my weaknesses. I'm gonna make sure everybody. I'm gonna line
yep.
up in front of everybody. I'll make sure everybody come see it. So what made you be like that competitive and have that competitive nature?
Um, bro, bro, it was tough growing up. Like it was tough for real. Like
Hmm.
it was tough to the point where like I made a decision to myself that you feel me, no matter how hard it was, uh, I was gonna try to be like make better, like you know. And I made that decision at a young age. I made that decision at like 10, 11 years old. 10, 11 years old. You know, I'm watching my mom struggle. You know, and it's not a lot you can do about it as a you know a small teen. It's like you can't go get a legal job. It's
Hmm.
hard to really work under the table for good bread. You know, it was a lot of loopholes that you had to kind of figure out. And I don't know, I didn't want to take no for an answer, for real. I didn't want to take no for an answer, especially when I knew it was something um that was possible. You know, it was different when you go into the mall or you go into the store and then you want to get something, but and your mom tell you no because y'all don't got the money. You know, but nobody can't tell me no about getting on the field to get better or getting in the gym to get better or getting in the weight room to get stronger. You know, like it was those things where I knew I had control of. You know, I took full control of,
I
and
feel that.
that's really like how I really live my life for real. Like anything I got control of, you know, I take full control of it, and to the point where
I had to
I can
learn that
maneuver.
now. I had to learn that now. It took me a while to get to that moment because I was always the type of person like trying to figure it out or trying to blame somebody else.
Yeah,
It's my mom's fault why I can't get here, or it's my brother's fault I had to do
yeah,
this instead of taking full accountability where I could have been doing this better, could have been doing that.
yep.
So to piggyback off that, what was the decision on you going to your first college?
So that decision was actually it was actually a crazy decision actually, and it was a quick decision. It was one of those things where I had got in the spring of my junior year, I had got an offer from Florida Atlantic, and I didn't really know a whole lot about offers at the time. I didn't like in my head. I was thinking, okay, this coach had just came to campus. You know what I'm saying? He offered me. Uh, I'll be ready to sign whenever I'm ready to sign,
Mm-hmm.
and that wasn't the case. It was one of those verbal offers where they tell you they offering you, but they can say that, but if it ain't in writing, it don't really matter. It was like one of those things. Um, so I had called coach up, um, and I actually remember this coach. It was Coach Kevin Smith for real. I
Mm-hmm.
called Coach Kevin Smith, and I'm like, "Hey, coach, I think I'm ready to commit." He's like, all right, that's good to know. We got some guys that we offered in the summer. We're gonna see if they commit, and then we'll get back to you. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I ain't really have an offer from these guys. So, um, and at the time, like I wasn't super skilled. Like I just knew I was competitive, but I knew I didn't have this, the skill that everybody else had at the time. So I was more so in the thoughts of like, okay, just find somewhere to go so you could play football for real. Like I had always told myself, whenever I get the opportunity to go play somewhere, like I'm gonna go play. Like I'm not gonna discriminate based on the division, whatever the case may be. If they're gonna give me an opportunity to go play ball and they're gonna give me money for it, I'm gonna take that opportunity. And that's what I did with my first school. I didn't even take a visit to the campus.
You just took it on them.
They came to my house actually. Um, Not even my house. Isaiah
Mm-hmm.
Conley. So this is like throughout. So shout out to Isaiah for real. Shout out to Isaiah, PJ, Nanny, and all them. You feel me? Jeremiah, DJ. Them boys really took me in. Like I.
So let's backtrack real quick, cause as you can see, I'm a Jones High Tiger, and you a Edgewater
Yeah.
alumni. What is the Edge? Cause I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. You're like the first Edgewater alumni that's been on the pod.
I think I am.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
So what is the Edgewater culture like over there?
Football or just school?
Oh, I need the whole 9 yards. I need the whole nine
Oh,
yards.
man, it was a high school experience for sure. It was a high school experience for sure. You got a little bit of everything for real. One thing that I liked about that school was that it was a super diverse school, like super, because it was in College Park.
Mhm.
But if you was living in Rosemont or like a little bit in the Pine Hills area, you could still go to Edgewater.
Mhm.
So it's different with Jones. It's like Jones, you know what I'm saying? It's crosstown, Paramore. It ain't really no.
Rio Grande, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't really no. So it was it was a lot to learn as far as like being like a person for real. Like
Mhm.
you going like it was people there that was just straight up like I don't know, like a-holes, and then you got people who was just trying to fit into that environment, so they act that way, but
Mhm.
they wasn't really that way. They just wanted to fit into that environment. And then you got people who just wanted to come to school, get an education for real, do their after school activities, and go home. But like I say, the craziest story that happened there. I think this was this my junior year. I think this was my junior year. You might have heard about it. It was the brawl. It was like a big old brawl they had,
Yeah.
and then a whole bunch of people ended up getting maced.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
bro, that was the craziest day. It was
Yeah.
almost like a movie. Like,
That was
bro,
like the first time like y'all been on a big scale and everybody's watching y'all for real.
yeah, that at least to my knowledge, that was the
Yeah.
first time like the school was all over the news, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bro, this really happening. Everybody's like running around. Like you see people laughing about it as it's happening. But then it's like, you get on the news and they like serious about it. They're like, yeah, this just happened. Officers had to mace these people. These people went to the hospital. I'm like, man, it was yeah, it
It
was
was
actually
crazy.
yeah, it was a
So what about football coaching?
um that was a crazy process. When I joined the football team, I think they had just got rid of the head coach that was there for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and Chris Leak, he played for the Florida Gators.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being the head coach there, and that was when I first wanted to join the team. And he made me run this conditioning test. It was like a 300-yard shuttle, 50 yards down and back 3 times, or not. It was like a 150-yard shuttle, 50 yards down and back 3 times, and I almost didn't pass it. He almost like didn't allow me to be on the team, and it was like a weird situation.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he ended up having something crazy happen while he was coaching, and he resigned in the middle of the season.
Wow.
And then our D coordinator had to end up being the head coach at the time, and yeah, it was a lot, and all in that season. And then the next season, that's when Coach Duke came.
Mm.
He came my senior. He came my senior year, and actually, no. Coach Duke came my junior year. Coach Duke
Mm-hmm.
came my junior year, and he brought his coaching staff with him from Lake Highland, and it was kind of a weird change because like I had never experienced like a new coach coming in and then bringing a whole new coaching staff. Like it was coaches that still stayed there, like Coach EJ, stuff, and people like that. But I was like, dang, dude brought the whole gang with him. Like what he plan on changing out here, and he just flipped the culture. He provided structure for real. He provided a balanced schedule. He like after being in college and seeing how our football practices are ran and stuff like that. Like he like to the best of his ability, like
He
he
imitated.
ran those practices similar to that. Like he always made sure we was on point with periods, time management. Like he was really good with like that type of stuff. He's really good with communication. Um, I still reach out to him anytime I come back into town. I reach out to him. You know what I'm saying, so I can get in the field in the weight room, see how you doing and stuff. Um,
So,
but
how was the one on ones like? Did you get to guard Christian Lear? Did you get to guard Tommy? Did you get to play against those guys when they was at Edgewater, or they came after you?
actually, so my senior, actually no, I didn't go against Tommy or Chris. I didn't start playing DB until I got to Northwestern, the
Mm-hmm.
NAIA school. So I was after my senior year, I was playing receiver, and then I was signed to play receiver at my first school.
Mm-hmm.
Kept playing receiver, kept playing receiver. Then when I tried to transfer in the spring, that was during COVID. So I had entered the portal at the beginning of at the end of the fall semester, and then COVID happened later in that spring, or like right around the beginning of the spring actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up having to sit out of school for that semester.
Damn.
So then I enrolled into Northwestern, and they put me on football and track scholarship, and then I signed as a receiver. But it was like some paperwork issue I had going on with the NAIA where they took like 5 games to clear me as a eligible football player for the NAIA, and it just so happened to be at a time where we was down a starting DB. He had just got hurt, and then coach walks up to me. He's like, "How you feel about playing DB?" And in my head, I'm like, "Bro, the last time I played DB was like in high school for like one season." And it wasn't even real DB. It was like nickel. Like,
Nickel.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, DB, I just cooked the whole fall camp at receiver, bro. Like I wasn't playing because I wasn't eligible. Like, why you trying to move me at DB? So, um, he was like, you'll be starting if you want to move over there. And I'm like, shit, let's see what it's hitting for real. So, I played, finished that season out at DB, and then I was all conference at corner. So then I'm like, this might actually be something that I could pursue for real. And then I just started looking deeper into it, like like what the league wants when they looking into certain type of player prototypes and stuff. And I'm like, at receiver, once you get to those levels, if you got to be 6'3" or better to at least pass the eye test. So in my head, I'm like, okay, 6 foot, 6'1" receiver versus a 6 foot, 6'1" DB. They probably gonna like the taller DB for real versus the average height receiver.
Hmm.
So I was like, man, but like, is corner something I want to do? Like, do I really want to stand in front of these fast behind dudes and try to stop them from catching the ball or stop them from running their routes? It was a lot of thought that went into it, but it all fell back onto what we talked about at the beginning for real. It just all fell back on um, the confidence for real.
Hmm.
I just went out there and I played my reps with confidence, even if I had no idea what I was doing as far as technique. I'll fix that later for real. But like during the rep, I'm gonna try to play with the maximum amount of confidence, and that really got me to where I'm at right now for real. Like I never lost confidence in myself. Like
So what was
even
the biggest like transition? Because a lot of people who they say when you transfer from receiver to corner is a different. It's like almost like you picking up and learning, and it goes from there.
yeah, like my transition. Shout out to Kenny Shaw. He was my receiver trainer when I was playing receiver. He taught me so much, like inside game with receivers. Certain types of movements they do when they starting to get in and out of their breaks. Whenever they starting to do something janky or whatever, like he taught me all of that because it was stuff that I had to learn as a receiver.
Hmm.
So as a DB, it helped me because when I would line up, I would look at the gestures they would do. I would, look at like how they moving, and then that would kind of help me lean more towards making a decision. But the biggest transition from a receiver to DB is just the movement. Like it's a different type of movement when you gotta move backwards full speed versus moving forward full speed. Like like as a receiver, I'm running straight downfield, knowing where I want to go. But as a DB, I'm more so trying to read you while playing at a rapid pace, moving backwards. So that was the hardest thing for me. That in my eyes,
Yeah, you
the
get lost in
eyes,
that
yeah,
backfield is up.
yeah. It's hard, bro. Like it's hard to know that this dude running the route in front of you and like they trying to throw him the ball. Like so you want to look back there and kind of be like, all right, is he throwing the ball yet? But as you progress and you learn the game more, uh, once you get like, it's not more so learning football anymore. It's more so just learning like the hacks of it for real.
Hmm.
Like it's just like how he is in life for real. We not learning the basics of life no more. We learning how to maneuver. We learning what's best for us. You know what I'm saying? For us to be able to be efficient, and that's all we really care about at the end of the day is efficiency.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm lucky to have a DB coach that I have because he's more so the type where he's not gonna alter what you do, but he'll alter how you do it. You know what I'm saying? So and the thing about him is like if you can do it the same way every time, he ain't gonna change it because that's what's efficient for you. Now we can fix it, but he's not gonna change it. You know, so that's the benefit of it, and that makes the game easier too because now I don't have to think about he did say I need to change this, so let me try to change this, and now I'm thinking about it too much before the reps start. Then now your mind fluttered, bad rep. Now you like he telling me all this and it's not working.
Hmm.
It,
I remember them days.
yeah, yeah, man. But
So tell us about your transition to Minnesota and you playing on a bigger stage with better competition, and why you chose that school out of any schools you could have went to.
um, so the transition, the thought of Minnesota State actually was from one of my homeboys, James.
Mm-hmm.
He we was at it's funny because we was sitting at the cafeteria table. We was sitting in the dining hall and we sitting at the table and I'm like, man, this just not it's not for me out here. We was in small town in Iowa, like probably like 1,200 people, maybe less.
Mm.
So it was small. It wasn't diverse at all. So it was kind of awkward to just move around. Because it was one of those things where you're not like everyone else out there. So people look at you. You know what I'm saying? People they double take. All the things that like people do when they're not like when other people aren't from the area type of thing. Not like a
Mm-hmm.
hostile, but it's more so like
Like, what he doing here?
yeah, like kind of like oh I ain't seen him before. I ain't never seen him before. It's like one of those things where people are so used to seeing the same people all the time, then they see somebody different, and then it's like yeah they know they're in a college town, but it's one of those college towns where the people that graduated high school together, they went to college together. You know what I'm saying? And then they
Mm.
knew each other in middle school. They aunts know each other. They uncles know each other. It's like one of those things where everybody is connected in some type of way there. You know.
Mm.
So, and I went in there thinking it was gonna be a real college experience where everybody getting to know everybody. Everybody already know everybody. Everybody already know everybody. Everybody already in their own little secluded groups and this and that. Being from where we from, we ain't finna just try to go budge in the groups.
Nah, yeah, nah.
I'm a cool it. I'm a cool it. Like, bad blood, but it was one of those things where you could tell that it's already like they had chemistry before they even got to campus type of thing. So yeah, we in the cafeteria and then I'm like, man, I gotta make something happen, bro. So he's like, I got this track coach at Minnesota State. Like, you could reach out to him and see what they talking about for real. And then I'm like, okay, but what I'm gonna do about football? Because I'm playing football and track at Northwestern. So in my head, I'm like, I take the offer for track, but football is what I'm really focused on. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really too much care for track, but if that's gonna get me in the door, then I'm gonna take it for real. Like if that's the key to the door, I'm gonna use it. And I talked to the track coach, and then I got on a visit up there, and that was my first time ever going on a college visit, on a college tour.
Mm.
Like, yeah, so it was one of those things where I kind of felt like I was coming out of high school because like it wasn't something that like I had experienced before.
Mm-hmm.
So during that visit for track, we had some downtime. So during that downtime, I ended up seeing one of the football coaches, and I'm like, hey, like I'm coming from this school, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing football and track over there. I'm about to be coming over here doing track. I'm trying to be on the football team. Trying to finesse my way in there. Then he got me on a little visit while I was on my visit. He took me on a little tour through the locker room for the football team and stuff like that. So, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm locked in now. So I get everything going with track. Mind you, throughout this whole little process of me trying to like get to the school for track, I'm still texting the football coach like, "Hey, look, what's up? Like, can I try out? Y'all see my film? This and that." He's not texting me back. Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, dang. So I got up to MSU in 2020, the 2022-2023 season,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't play football. I had to sit out because he never reached back out to me. So I was like, bro, at least I got track. So at that point, I'm thinking football might just be done for real. Like I'm talking to close friends, and they like, oh, like I'm like, yeah, bro, it might be done with it for real, like only track. And then one of the football players joined the track team, and shout out to Trey, man, for real, because I sent him my film, and he was like, oh yeah, you should be straight for real. So in my head, I'm like, dang, if he had that reaction, why the hell the coaches ain't had that reaction? Like, you know what's
I
the
think I think when it comes to the coaches though, the coaches don't be even caring, bro, because they got to deal with so many people
yeah,
at one time.
I don't think so either, for real. So, I guess he sent them my film and I ain't really hear too much back about him. And then it was track championships indoor. Triple jump. So I triple jumped on the Sunday for championships. And I jumped and then after my jumps, you feel me, I was walking out to the vending machine, ran into the defensive coordinator.
Wow.
So then um, I'm like, chopping it up with him. And then he's like, yeah, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, I'm just, you feel me, competing for track right now, but you feel me, I'm trying to get it in with football too. So he's like, all right, what's your Twitter? And then I got a text from the head coach that later that night after I jumped. He congratulated me because I think I got like second. I got second at the conference championships, and then he congratulated me. Mind you, it's like 9:30 at night. He's like, "You ready to go in the morning?" In my head, I'm like, "Bro, I just got done jumping, and you want me to wake up at 6 a.m. and go test? Got you. Say no more. I'll be there. Don't worry about it." So then I went there, and then I worked out with him for a week, and then they told me they was gonna get back to me after spring break to let me know if I was on the team, and then I got added to the D unit group chat, defensive backs group chat. So then I'm like, all right, I think I might be on the team for real. So we came back after spring break, and then they just really they started including me in everything. Then I went to go pick up my shirts, my gear, and then at that point I was like, it ain't over for real. Like it ain't over. Like even though I was doing track and I wasn't doing football, like I even though I wasn't on the football team that whole fall semester
Hmm.
when I was at Minnesota, I was still working out. So like I don't know why. Like I didn't like initially I didn't think that okay, I'm gonna go talk to the coach and try to get on the team. I was just kind of like, bro, all right, it is what it is. I'm gonna control what I can control, and that's track. So yeah, I don't know, bro. I was just still working out. Like I was still working out at DB, and I was still working out at receiver too, because I had no idea which one I was gonna get taken for real. Like
Hmm.
I'm like, I was gonna join the team on some whatever y'all need me to do. I'm gonna do it, and then build my foundation from that. So I ended up making a team. I had a it was we I had a decent season last season. It wasn't nothing crazy, but
So
uh,
how was it after waiting so long to finally get on the field again and finally touch the terrain, finally hit somebody, finally get back to what you known for doing?
yeah. So I think um I think the toughest part for me was um having to know the game of football. Like my mind wasn't on it for so long, but like I was physically doing it, but mentally I wasn't making sure I actually understood the game of football. Um, and that was a process that I had to take on throughout joining the team. Like
That playbook.
yeah, like I knew I had the ability to make plays. I knew I had the ability to do what I needed to do, get out of my breaks, whatever the case is. It's just the fact of like what do you actually know? Can you break down what's going on in front of you before it happens? So once I learned to start doing that more, the game became a lot slower and
Hmm.
it allowed me to play a lot faster. So um like to answer your question, it didn't really sink in with me until we got back from fall camp. Like it was on something where I was like, okay, I knew I was back on the team, but like you don't realize how much, like, you don't realize, like, what you actually value to that, to it's taken, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something everybody say, but it's true, bro. It's true. Like, for a long time, like, I used to complain about certain things with football, like, complain about time and this and that. And then, the 5 6 months where I wasn't touching the field for practice or putting on a helmet or shoulder pads, it was like, what you finna do, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's track a different world. It's different when you're trying to go pro in track. Like, it requires a lot more, just in
Mm-hmm.
general. Like, you gotta find a coach that's gonna be willing to go through the process with you, and it's just a lot more that requires individual support and figuring it out individually than it does for football. Like, you have a support system when you playing football. You know what I'm saying? You got a group of coaches that care for you, and then you got teammates that care for you. You
Right
know what I'm
behind you,
saying?
yeah, for sure.
So, um, yeah, man, I was just like, bro, I'm back doing it, and uh, I told myself I wasn't gonna take it for granted, for real, and that's really just how it been. Like, that's why I just go so hard all the time,
Definitely.
consistently, because that's just the way I'm built. Like, it's just instilled in me. Like, it's like I feel weird not giving my full commitment to something that I say I'm gonna do. Like, if I say I'm gonna do it, then I might as well do it all the way. Like, I ain't gonna go sign up for something and then go complain about it.
Definitely.
You know,
Top five corners.
uh, all time or active.
Your choice.
Top five. I'm gonna go. My number one corner. Actually, I start from the top to the bottom. I go from the bottom to the top. Number five. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. AJ Terrell. I like AJ Terrell. I like his game for real. Um, Number four. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Sauce.
Okay.
I like Sauce. Um, Number three. I'm gonna go Derek Stingley. And then number two, I like Darrell Revis. I wanted to keep it active, but I like Darrell.
Yeah, the
I'm,
real.
I'm gonna go with Darrell, and then
Definitely.
my top pick is Jalen Ramsey at number one.
I was about to say I was winning. I'm like, you ain't go for Ramsey on
Yeah,
that
no, he
man?
was he was going number one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It and I just yeah he plays with that confidence. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, he plays like he gonna win every rep. And even if he lose the rep, like, you had to work for it. So I like that mindset that he goes by, and I feel like it's kind of similar to how I go about things in life, for real. Like,
Definitely.
I just attack everything with confidence, bro. Like, 'cause that's something that people can't take from you. They could coach can bench you, he cannot play you, he can play you. You know what I'm saying? He can cut you, but he can't take away your confidence. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And
So, what is going to take for you to get to that next level to do what you need to do for you?
um, it's gonna take everything I don't want to do, for real. Um, it's gonna take endless hours of repetition. Uh, it's gonna take a lot of character building, because as a college athlete, there's a lot that goes on. So, controlling your emotions and watching what you say. They say the tongue is a powerful. So it's a powerful weapon. I've had my times where I definitely should have been a better person, as far as interacting with other people, as far as interacting with people that work for the program and stuff like that. Um, so just really just fixing that, just making sure I understand that I'm gonna mess up, but it's really about how fast I can recover. Um, I was talking to my head coach, and it was during our exit meeting, and he told me that my head coach and my defensive coach, my corners coach,
Mm-hmm.
um, they encouraged me to work out the relationships that I feel are broken with other people. Um, and pretty much all they were saying was that with that was get a why. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Just get an understanding as to why they made the decision they made. Because coming from your head, some decisions may feel like neglectful decisions, but it was probably a logical decision in their head at the time. Just like how we think decisions are logical in our head at times. But the thing is, it's hard to do that when it's been so much time of absence. It's kind of like where you start. Where do you start? Um, a big one major thing that they was saying is with my dad. Just ask him why. Like not even in a way where you just you're trying to interrogate him or anything. You just what were you thinking? When you made that decision,
Mm-hmm.
and go from there for real. Because at the end of the day, the only person that'll know that right now is him until I ask. But then you get to that thought in your head where it's like, is it worth asking?
Do I really want to know that?
Do I want to know? So it's a lot that has to be done, um, and it's one of those things where I'm not afraid to fail throughout this process. You know,
100%.
um, like this process, like I already told myself from the start. I'm gonna go until I'm told no. So until I'm physically told you can't play football no more, I'm gonna play football, and that's just the way it is for real.
For
Like
sure.
that's the goal I had set. That's what I'm gonna stick to. Obviously, it comes to a point where it's like, okay, what is reality? I'm gonna make the best decisions for myself as far as still trying to be efficient in life and not just in football. But I'm gonna keep football around for as long as I can. You know, and then I'm also getting to the point where it's gonna be a tough stretch in my career. You know, Day Day he just played personally. I feel like Day Day just played the best season of football in his college career.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, Not to mention he performed well under the lights against a top team in the world for college football.
Definitely.
Um, and then he's in the position he's in now. So it's like it's a real reality check, bro. Like I'm not playing Power Five football. I'm not playing Division 1 football. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, the work you just put in, like, is that enough to get to where you're trying to be? When you got people that's on the pedestal to be looked at, and they still getting overlooked. So at that point, I just try to find ways to push myself more. You know, push myself more, even knowing that I'm gonna push myself more, but it can still be the same result.
Yeah, I think that's the gamble we take as
Yeah.
athletes. Going through that process, putting our bodies on the line, going as hard as we can, attacking as much obstacles as we can,
Yep.
but we still not getting that result. And I kind of thought that was like my buried obstacle. I think y'all as a whole, like all the players that I know, all the players I came in contact, all the players I played with, they got past that first obstacle.
Yeah.
I let that first obstacle kind of stop me. Now it's like it's even more obstacles as you go into you. Because even when you get to that point, there's even more obstacles. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's just the toll we take as players.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you could tell yourself, your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
What would I tell my younger self?
Yes, Afro Lorenzo.
I'll tell my younger self, honestly, bro, I'll tell my younger self to keep going because given the situation that I was born into, it's no running away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You either embrace it and find a way to make it different, or you try to run from it, and you can't run from it for real. So I don't know. I just knew at a really young age that it's gonna come down to you know what I'm saying, how much I can accomplish as far as my goals. You know what I'm saying. My mom fulfilling her goals through me. Um, at a young age, I just knew that if none of my older brothers and sisters did it, like I was gonna be the one that did it. Like for my mom to be able to say she had a child that did it. You know,
Definitely.
um, like it makes my mom the proudest woman on earth when I'm going around. I come home, and we go to places, and she know people at the places, and she telling them she got a son that's in college playing football and stuff like that. That makes her happy. It makes her feel good about herself. And it's not a lot of that in my family, so that's why I embrace it a lot. Like I really embrace and I really take pride in being a first generation student. Like being first generation, like it's a big deal. It's hard to have support going through the process, um, because I always thought of it as like, how am I gonna go back and get advice from people that haven't done it? So in my head, I'm thinking you got to figure it out, Lo. And it took trials and errors, but we figuring it out. You feel me? It's one of those things where are you willing to go through that process for real? Cause I could have been like, all right, bro, I'm done with football. I don't got no support. You know what I'm saying? It ain't doing nothing but getting harder. So, like, I can hang it up for real and just go make bread. I'm watching all my homeboys make fast money. You just up there for the slow grind, for the
Hmm.
slow grind. So I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Like, you know, actually, I do know. I think for me, it was just a fear of coming back to what I come back to. Like when I'm up in college, I'm living good. I'm in a good apartment. I'm eating good. Um, it's life feels normal when I'm up there.
Hmm.
Then I come back home, and then it feels like a struggle. So I think for me, the fear of having to come back to what I left from, um, is what really like, puts that fire under me to keep going or to really just try to achieve more. Like if I was coming back to, biscuits and gravy, the luxurious stuff. In my head, I'm not really thinking about, if this fails. In my head, I'm just living life. I know I'm gonna go back home to something good. But when I'm up there, like I'm always thinking about my next move. Like, is this gonna benefit you not wanting to go back to the crib?
I feel that.
So yeah, bro. Yeah, I really just don't be wanting to come back to the environment, living situations, whatever you want to call it for real. So that's why when I'm up there, bro, I'm not thinking about coming back home to relax. I'm putting my head down and I'm working for real till I hear the buzzer.
I feel that.
So
So I'm here to say, keep going, keep pushing. We
so
see you moving. We proud of you, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Quick turnaround. Keep pushing. We rooting for you here at What We're All Thinking podcast. Anything else you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just say, just make sure you got a connection with God. Like
Amen.
it was something, that was something I ain't have a real connection and a real meaning with. Um, when I was at Northwestern in 2021, the spring of 2021, I got baptized when I was up there, and it just kind of made me look at things differently. Um, it made me interact with people in a different way. Um, like even the people who you feel like are beneath you, I treat them with the utmost respect. It's one of those things where I'm happy I did it. It allowed me to just let my hair back in and know that you know I got somebody in my corner. Like that's why, and that's what helps me keep that mindset to control what you can control. Whatever happens, happens. You know, like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Whether you like it or not, or
Hmm.
whether you know it or not, like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So even though I don't know what's gonna happen, I got faith that what I'm saying. He gonna have protection to keep me protected for whatever's gonna happen. You know,
For sure.
so um, yeah, man, just find God, bro, and make peace with the people that you love the most for real. Like I say that, and I'm still trying to do that, but it's all stuff that we can work on for real.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's it, man. That's all
Shout
I
out to
got.
you, man. Growing, learning. This is definition of growth right here, man. Y'all tune in with my boy, man. He got that merch. I need to get some merch too. I need a shirt, a jacket. You know what I'm saying? Send me the link so I can buy. But yeah,
I
man.
got you.
Y'all like, comment, subscribe. We on the road to 2 million, 5K subscribers. Let's get it. We on a July lockdown. We posting every single day. So y'all go watch that last episode. Y'all made it this far. Keep going, man. We got another episode for y'all tomorrow. We out. Peace.